Governor Akeredolu consolidates provision of decent housing with Alpha 3D Estate. Ondo State Government relieves gains of Refund Revenue Collection Agency. Nigeria joins global community to mark Consumer Rights Day with push against market abuses. And from the foreign scene, China races with worst coronavirus outbreak. Thank you very much for joining us on the news at 7. I am Oyewumi Ayinigbara. Ondo State's Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has upped his administration's drives for provision of quality and affordable shelters with the commissioning of Alpha 3D Phase 1 as Irese Housing Estate in Akure, the state capital. Akeredolu reiterated his avowed commitment to redeem his pledge to make life better for the people of the state through realistic connections with critical stakeholders who share his government's vision. Our Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole reports that the project is in partnership with Alpha 3D Limited, a company jointly owned by the state government, SciTech, and Jay's Bank. The report is presented from our studios.
The housing project is in fulfillment of Governor Akeredolu's promise to make affordable houses available for the people. No fewer than 106 units out of 620 in the Phase 1 are ready, while others are in various stages of completion. Commissioning the project, Governor Akeredolu said the housing program would not be limited to the Central Senatorial District, as plans are in progress to replicate it in the northern and southern senatorial districts of the state. While pledging provision of access roads and connectivity to the national power grid, the governor assured of his administration's determination towards partnering the private sector in addressing the housing deficits in the state.
A customer-friendly approach to procuring property titles. And it's not about this place. I know some of us have properties, we don't have titles to our properties. That's why we have come up with focus on ownership charter of Ondo State. It is especially instituted to allow all owners in the state to obtain their title with ease and very minimum cost.
Earlier, the CEO Alpha 3D Limited, Oludare Bello, explained that the 620 units housing project has facilities such as shopping mall, school, clinic, recreation facilities, police post and fire station, among other basic infrastructural needs. He expressed confidence that 250 units would be delivered by the end of this year.
The support you are giving to us is legendary. On behalf of the board and management of Alpha 3D Limited, I welcome all of us. Very good.
The current housing deficit in Nigeria is said to be about 20 million would be required to offset this deficit, which is growing. According to available data, about 900,000 housing units annually. The Irese housing project is a deliberate effort to bridge the gap.
Meanwhile, Governor Akeredolu says its administration will ensure reserves are protected and preserved for the benefit of the people of Ondo State. The International Culture and Event Center as its theme, securing the nation's forest estate for sustainable development.
Declaring the 43rd Annual Conference open, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu said the conference is timely in providing possible solutions to further preserve the forest reserves and make it safe from unwanted elements. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Lucky Ayedatiwa, acknowledged the efforts of the security agencies of the state, including the homegrown security network, Amotekun, for their role in ensuring protected.
Unwavering efforts of all our security on the fact that there cannot be meaningful development in an atmosphere that is devoid of security.
Governor Akeredolu noted that his administration constituted a high-powered interministerial committee charged with the responsibility of developing state action program to preserve the forest estates.
We have embarked on the systematic reformation of the agriculture. This is to harness the state forest resources for prospective investors and essentially put in place collaborative mechanisms that will truly mirror the one administration philosophy of our government.
High point of the event was the presentation of an award to the governor for his efforts at safeguarding and preserving Timileyin Falade, Osrc News.
In what is an unprecedented feat in the history of the state, the reformed Revenue Collection Agency, Ondo State Internal Revenue Service, has consistent in the last 4 years met and surpassed the budgetary projection of government. The highest figure of 30.8 billion naira in 2020 of objectivity, laced with professionalism, and Saeed Aribisala in this report spotlights the Midas touch in the operation of ODIRS.
The Revenue House of the Ondo State Internal Revenue Service is just one of the visible landmark transformation engineered to make tax payments seamless for residents. But before this building was built, a reform agenda by Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, which granted autonomy to the service, led to a revamp of its activities, which is now embedded with information communication technology. A vibrant workforce with an average age of 28 years drives the services rendered by the agency.
The number of taxpayers
at the one-stop-shop revenue complex, the now expanded tax dragnet plays host to hundreds of residents on a daily basis. From property tax, which include land use charge, stamp duty, capital gains, to business taxes and motor vehicle taxes, where people can access vehicle licenses, ACNE permit, number plate, logbook dealer's licenses, learner's permit, change of ownership vehicle registration are taxes collected here, but not just at the head office. 5 tax stations and areas of the state to drive revenue collection at the grassroots. The chairman, ODIRS, Mr. Tolu Adegbie, noted that operation of the service has been designed for efficiency with dedicated departments such as Relationship Management Unit, ICT Unit, Contact Center, and Special
for the people. So we have model tax stations where you can go, one-stop shop tax stations where you can go get your assessments, and make your payments, collect your e-receipt, also file for your TCC, and you get your TCC all in one location. And now we have replicated that on a bigger scale with this our new head office. You can do all of that here too. Now, thirdly, you can now even do all of that from the internet, from our website or from our email. Write emails to us. We can tell you, you don't need to come here. The whole process of tax payment can be done via email, remotely, without coming here. You file your assessment, we look at it, we ask you questions, send us documents, you pay, you get your receipt, you get the tax clearance, do everything remotely. So we think it's a whole collection of things the Mr. Governor has been able to put together over a 5-year period.
The implementation of this novel initiative has resulted in unprecedented figures in internally generated revenue in the state. The highest projected internally generated revenue in 2016 was 15 billion, a figure that was never met. Since the rebranded ODIRS in 2018, a projected 20 billion naira target was surpassed with a 24 billion naira record. In 2019, 25 billion naira target was overcome with 30 billion naira record. In 2020, despite COVID-19, a 24 billion naira projection was surpassed with 24.8 billion naira. Year 2021 was no different. Billion naira target was surpassed with a 30.8 billion naira record.
For me, the greatest success over the years since I got here has been the ability to recruit 450 fresh graduates there is nothing as much as improving the lives of people. We have been able to improve the tax-paying experience of the people of Ondo State. We know the image that the former ODBR had among the people of Ondo State. But today, the perception is better. The best way to judge your product, what you are selling, is by what people say about that product. Do people like it? Do they not? But from all the things that we get, the feedbacks we get, people actually appreciate our products. That's 2. 3, it's this legacy building that Mr. Governor decided he was going to build for us. And he did. In fact, he didn't build it for us, he built it for the people of Ondo State.
With increasing drive for excellence, the Ondo State Internal Revenue Service says it is poised to continue to be a contributor. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
The Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee CCPC of the All Progressives Congress APC says the event of last week is nothing but a storm in a teacup. The party, in a statement by its secretary James Akpan-Odode, assured members and stakeholders that the governing party is crisis-free, strong, and remains united in giving the country the transformative leadership and good governance which was promised. And the CCPC in the statement said it is committed to delivering a seamless national convention on March 22. The Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, CECPC, restated its loyalty to the APC and to the leadership of the party, President Muhammadu Buhari, reassuring members and Nigerians that the party is stronger than ever before. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party has postponed its National Executive Committee meeting to tomorrow, Wednesday, March the 16th. The PDP NEC meeting was earlier slated for today, but was reportedly postponed over the timetable and schedule of the activities for the 2023 elections and the manifesto drafting committee. The party's National Publicity Secretary at the end of the National Caucus meeting. In the meantime, the Ebonyi State House of Assembly has declared the seats of 3 of its members elected under the People's Democratic Party, PDP, vacant. The decision was taken following a letter of resignation purportedly written by the 3 lawmakers. The 3 lawmakers and their PDP colleagues were, however, not at the sitting when the decision referred the letters on the floor of the House, after which he declared the seats of the 3 lawmakers vacant. He also ordered the clerk to write to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to notify the electoral body of the development and the need to conduct fresh elections in the affected areas. You're still watching Osrc News at 7. After the break, we bring you more stories. Please stay with us. Thank you very much for rejoining us on the news at 7. You can visit the stations with Ondo. The Ondo State Head of Service, Mr. Adiniro Adeyemo, has charged civil servants and the state to take interest in the reform agenda of the Akeredolu government by embracing quality service delivery. The Head of Service gave the charge at the 8th interactive meeting with Ondo State Improvement Service Program, ODSIP, also known as Change Ambassadors in Akure, the state capital. Our reporter Joy Pius has more.
In December 2019, Ondo State Improvement Program ODSIP was set up towards effective service delivery activity in the public service. It was designed to address most of the dysfunctions plaguing bureaucracy within the workforce, bringing together representatives from ministries, departments, and agencies known as Change Ambassadors to chart course for better service delivery.
You are a representative of your NDA.
Declaring open the 8th month to the business of reforming, Mr. Adeyemo said to the actualization of a reform initiative.
We are such a people that are not a coward. We are not coward. We have our mood to play. We will say it as it is. No matter what. This quarterly meeting has been a forum for us to interact with faced by ambassadors at our different MTAs. May I remind us that as reformers, it is our duty to continually strive to do things better and ensure a well-functioning community in all sectors and at all levels.
He charged the change ambassadors to effectively key into topical issues and systemic improvement methods capable of elevating the service.
Let me remind you that the main reason for establishing this forum is to create an avenue for cross-fertilization of ideas and peer learning, especially among change ambassadors who serve as the watershed for transformation, bringing to the fore pertinent reform-related issues that demand prompt attention. This we have been executing by exposing you to myriads of topical issues and systemic improvement methods which are capable of elevating the service.
The next meeting is expected to hold in 3 months' time. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
The federal government has assured residents of Ondo State that there is no cause for alarm about the hovering aircraft around major cities in the state. The Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Mr. Olamilekan Adigbite, who allayed the People's Fair, explained that the aircraft is on a geological survey mission of the state. Our reporter Joy Pius again reports that the government's assurance has calmed the people's tension over the flying plane.
For some days now, a yellowish aircraft hovers perpetually over the major cities in Ondo State, sending shivers down the spine of residents. And to further compound people's fear, the plane flies at low altitude.
Akànṣadé ẹ̀rí tó ń pariwo orí pan kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ìgbà tá a máa jáde aṣáàrí pé plane ni ọjọ́ kejì àtúnrí still náà ọjọ́ kẹta àárí mo tẹ̀ tún lọ sádùúgbò míì mo tún bá plane pàdé.
bó ṣe ń fò káàkiri ẹ̀rù tiẹ̀ bà wá bó ṣe pariwo bọ̀tí àmọ́ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sọ wá sáàrí tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀.
Imbued with electronic sensor could get data of minerals on the surface of the ground. And according to a reliable source, the study is being conducted in 19 states: Kwara, Ekiti, Ondo, Osun, Oyo, Ogun, Ebonyi, Enugu, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Kaduna, Niger, Kogi, Taraba, Benue, Plateau, Nasarawa, Bauchi, and the FCT. In Ondo State, the assessment is being carried out in 9 local government areas based on development. Olamilekan Adigbite urged residents not to panic, saying the projected data would determine the type of mineral, thus attract investors.
To acquire data on the minerals in Nigeria. This is a very basic method of acquiring data. That is through this geophysical measurements. These aircraft are special aircrafts. They've got equipment in them that monitors certain parameters on the ground. They have to do it when it's dry. And of course, the recordings that we interpret that is headquartered in the main diver in the ministry. We've gone to all the states where they will be working. We've spoken with the governors to this without the knowledge of the security apparatus of this country.
Yes.
The Broadcasting and Digital Media Convention, jointly organized by Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BUN, Broadcast Media Africa, and Hotel Abuja. A statement by BUN Executive Secretary Yemisi Bangbushi, which will dovetail to Bangbushi 200 participants. Bangbushi also disclosed that Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, will preside over the opening ceremony. Today is World Consumer Rights Day. The day is celebrated as a means of raising global awareness about consumer rights and needs. On the World Consumer Rights Day, fair digital finance and its calls for fairness in the digital market, while encouraging people to create insights and campaigns which are consumer-centered, as well as inclusive, data protected, safe private, and sustainable digital markets. The pandemic began with the Omicron cases surging in multiple provinces. The extremely contagious variant known as stealth Omicron is challenging the government's zero COVID-19 strategy. Millions of people are under lockdown. Saeed Aribisala has more.
Jilin province in China's northeast is the latest epicenter of the country's coronavirus outbreak. With hundreds of cases confirmed there in the past few days, mass testing is underway and a makeshift hospital designed to accommodate 1,500 is now open. Further south in the city, Jindua, people have been ordered to take COVID-19 tests by community medical workers.
We have set up 6 testing sites in our community. Due to the tight schedule, we have to conduct testing overnight.
Cases of the Omicron variant are surging nationwide, with thousands of infections reported in recent days. It is the biggest outbreak here since the pandemic began. More than 17 million people in the city of Zindua have been put under lockdown for at least a week. People can only leave home to buy necessities. All public transports have been suspended. Forced closure of businesses and factories in the tech hub has led to a drop in China's stock market. In Shanghai, pub, schools and universities have also been closed. Authorities are doing all they can to prevent large outbreaks in major cities.
Acid tests, but they can help identify the possible source of infection in a timely manner before nucleic acid tests are conducted.
Experts abroad have criticized China's zero-tolerance strategy as unsustainable, but Beijing has doubled down on its approach, saying it has kept death from the virus to a minimum. Saeed Aribisala, News.
And now to sport. St. Peter Unity Secondary School, Akure, will lock arms with of Nestle Milo Basketball Championship for Ondo State schools. The final scheduled for Ondo State Sports Complex, Akure, will come up on Thursday, the 17th. In the final of the male event, Oyemeko Grammar School, Akure, will take on either Greater Tomorrow or Preston 7. But before we go, a quick look at the top stories. We told you that the Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has commissioned Alpha 3D Phase 1 out at Osrc House in the state in Akure, the state capital. Following the reformed Revenue Collection Agency, Ondo State government has recorded an appreciable revenue generation over the last 4 years. Nigeria has joined global community to mark World Consumer Rights Day, denouncing market abuses and social injustice. And from the foreign